Feathered Friends Ibis 0 degree sleeping bag. How did it do in 8 degrees? Let's whip it out. So this Feathered Friends Ibis ES 0 degree sleeping bag is really amazing. There's some really simplistic designs, but the execution of this is amazing. Now, as you've seen in the past, I've tested many different sleeping bags and have gone through lots of different tests with them, and this one blew the doors off any other 0 degree sleeping bag I've tested in the past. Granted, I have a few other ones I'm still going to test this year, but this one so far, based on the ones I tested last year, and this one and another one I tested the same night as I tested this one by Nemo, really amazing. So as you know in the past, I am going to talk about draft collars and draft tubes and the like, and this one is just super simplistic. You got the hood, you got the draft collar, and the draft collar, I really like this because when you're in snow, one of the things that's going to get screwed up, if you get any snow on Velcro, you know it's not going to work very well, or if at all. They use snaps to connect the inside of the draft collar around you. That in and of itself is really cool, as you can see here. Nice design. Put your head in here, and I like that design a lot. With that being said, you have two different adjustments, one for the hood, one for the draft collar. Super easy to use, and this pluffs up. So as you can see in their design, you have a lot of pluff on your chest area there, and it just keeps you super warm. They do have a different panel right here, which I believe is for water resistance, moisture resistance. I really liked it a lot. Let's get down to what it exactly did. Now, the night I tested this, I also tested the Nemo Sonic, and this is at 8 degrees. Got my data here. In case you don't know, I used, which actually I don't have the actual other part to this. What I'll do is I use a FDA certified thermometer that updates every 10 seconds. So I keep that right here, and so it's in the same place for every sleeping bag test. I go outside, stand there for 10 minutes, open up the bag for 10 minutes, let everything get acquainted to the temperature that we're at. I wear the same clothes, and then get in the bag for 45 minutes and see how it warms up. You know, compare how fast does it warm up, does it stay warm, does it start to drop off at the end, etc. And with this Feathered Friends Ibis ES 0, what I can say is it might not have warmed up the fastest in the first 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. Definitely 5 minutes. It got outpaced at the 5-minute mark. But from like 5 to 10 minutes out, this thing just absolutely destroyed it. 15 minutes, this thing was just destroying every other sleeping bag I've tested, including the Thermarest Parsec, including some others in the past that I've tested. Also a very expensive one. So two Mountain Hardware in the past that I've tested. One was their Phantom, which was like a $700 sleeping bag, very price equivalent to this one. Did horribly. So at that point of 15 minutes, this thing's dominating. It hit 80 degrees by 20 minutes in the inside of the bag. It actually hit 80 degrees before 20 minutes, but 20 minutes were at, 81 degrees. And then finally, after 45 minutes, this thing was pumping out 84.3 degrees, which is 2 degrees warmer than any other bag I've tested. Same night, same temperature, same conditions. The Sonic Nemo only got to 79.1. So 5 degrees difference between the Sonic and the Feathered Friends down here. As far as comfort, this thing was super comfortable, being 6 foot and 215 pounds, broader shoulders, athletic build. This worked for me very well. I didn't feel constrained or anything like that. But this construction, everything, it was super comfortable. They got this little spot on the inside to put some, like your phone or whatever. Right here, put a little phone, and I just really enjoyed it. The one thing I will say, it's the only, I'll say, gripe that I noticed was the draft tube is just probably the one thing on the bag that would stand out as a concern. Not maybe a concern, but the lower side. Everything on this bag is amazing. I loved how my feet felt felt at the bottom, you know, felt nice and warm. Nothing wrong there. The top part, the one thing I will say is there was just a slight bit, if you bumped into it, of cold air coming in the draft tube here. The Sonic, I thought, actually had an amazing draft tube design, which was superior to this one, but that doesn't mean this is bad in any way. I'm just saying if there's one thing I had to pick out on this one, it's the draft tube is just slightly, you know, a negative. If I had to pick one thing that I'd say they can improve upon, it'd be the draft tube. Does that mean that's not letting, you know, it's letting tons of cold air in? No, obviously. If it was doing that, it's not going to be 84 degrees in there, you know, after 45 minutes. But it's the one thing I'd say, if they can improve upon anything, that'd be the one area. But this is definitely going to be my go-to 0 degree sleeping bag going forward. I really liked it a lot. It's only 3 pounds, 1 ounce, if memory serves me right. And it's amazing as far as a sleeping bag. And then if you're going to spend the money on this, made in America, made in Seattle since '72, if you're going to spend the money on this, you're going to get a really great product. This is my first Feathered Friends experience. I've used Volundre in the past, Thermarest, Stone Glacier, Mountain Hardware, Sierra Designs, Nemo. I've used lots of different sleeping bags in the past, and this one definitely was very, very well thought out. So if you're interested in this, or you're just interested in 0 degree sleeping bags, I'd say give this one a look. If you're looking for a zero, you know, just a straight up baller 0 degree sleeping bag. Hopefully that helped you, you know, get some information of what this is like at 8 degrees. I like to start about 10 degrees off of a bag's temperature rating, because normally when they're rated, 10 degrees beyond their rating is where they're really comfortable. But I think this one could definitely push down towards its limit. So I'm excited to hopefully get something below 5 here soon to test this in as well, and just confirm what I tested the other day at 8 degrees. So if you guys have any questions or anything, let me know. If you've used Feathered Friends in the past, go ahead and put it in the comments how it's worked out for you. And until next time, later.